Hey everyone, welcome back to Because Jesus Bible Journaling. It's Monica, and I am here with a collage and multimedia process video for you. I'm calling it Oh Daughter, and it is my next installment in the book of Psalms that I'm working through here. This comes from Psalm chapter 45. There's some really interesting verses in there about a daughter, about a princess, and I actually had to read up on some commentary to kind of figure out what all of it meant. So I knew that I wanted to use this beautiful, beautiful woman's head in this margin art collage that I'm doing here. So I'm starting with that piece, and I'm just kind of tracing where I'm going to cut the back half of her head off in order to fit her into the margin here next to Psalm 45. I'm thinking about using a piece of scrap paper as kind of a background in the margin. So I'm going to kind of put together some of my collage outside the Bible first, and then go ahead and affix it to the margin of my Bible. You saw me there. I'm kind of sorting through some scrapbook paper. I'm sorting through some different pieces of magazine clippings and things like that. And here we go. I'm just simply measuring out a piece of scrapbook paper to the dimensions of my margin. The margin in your Bible might be slightly different from mine, and even in my Bible, the margins in the book of Psalms are a little bit wider than some of the other books. I love the piece of scrapbook paper. I love the colors. I really want that little pop of yellow to show at the bottom of the page. And so I'm just kind of positioning her in place and kind of measuring where her head is going to be. And I'm doing my very best here not to cover up any of the words in my Bible. I'm just kind of that type of Bible journalist. I want to still be able to read all the verses that are surrounding the verse that I'm journaling about today. Now I'm going to do some of the work here on a tilted piece of cardboard because some of these magazine clippings get very glossy if I'm working on them on my flat table surface. That's just kind of one of those things when I'm working under really great lighting, but there's a camera above. The camera really picks up on a lot of that sheen and shine. So I'm trying to help you guys be able to see this better. Now, one thing that was bothering me about her is that she does not have a neck. So I was trying out all these different ideas of how can I construct her neck? How can I, give her head something on which to sit? And so finally, what I decided to do was go ahead and take a piece of that dark vase and sort of make that her neck. Her neck would be in shadow anyway, and so I didn't need it to be anything spectacular, but I just really felt like her head needed something to kind of anchor it and let it sit there on the page. Now I'm just using my Elmer's glue stick and gluing everything down, and I'm going ahead and trimming it to the size of my margin. And I'm going to be putting it on the left side there. I want to mention the page on the right side of my Bible. I did that a little over a year ago, and it's one of those pages that I don't really love. But as I was thinking about whether or not I would maybe film a video of how to change it, I think I'm deciding to just leave it where it is. This is my journaling Bible. This is part of my journey. That's where I was a year ago. Here's where I am today. So I'm learning to not be critical of myself and my imperfections, because they are many, but instead just remember this is all a representation of time that I spent with the Lord, and I love Him and I love being in His presence. So I'm not going to change that at all. But I did want to just mention that, a lot has changed about my style and about Bible journaling. And I'm sure if you look back at your things from a year ago, maybe you would feel similarly, maybe not. Back to the collage work here. I'm just sort of piecing things together and gluing them down on the page. Now here are the verses in Psalm 45, verses 10 and 11. It says, "Hear, O daughter, and consider and incline your ear. Forget your people and your father's house, and the king will desire your beauty. Since he is your Lord, bow to him." Now I had to look up, who is this daughter? Who is this princess? And what's happening in these verses? And the commentary that I read anyway was explaining that this is really a picture again of Jesus as the groom and the church as his bride. So I'm using this woman here to kind of symbolize the church and to kind of symbolize myself. And these verses are so interesting to me. In Luke, I believe it is, Jesus talks about, if you want to be my disciple, you must hate your brother and hate your mother and hate your own family. And he just means that compared to the love that you have for him. So to me, as I was journaling, I was really feeling like this was God calling me into deeper love and deeper sacrifice for Him, deeper love toward Him. Now I'm using my matte gel medium here to give everything one final coat over the top, and using the glue stick first and then the matte gel medium after just kind of keeps my page from getting too thick or too stiff. I did let this dry for a few hours and then I came back, and just as in my last video, I'm now going to be adding some other things to the page to really kind of bring some new dimension and some new color onto the page. I do want to mention, isn't this matte gel medium amazing? The glossiness and the shininess of the magazine clippings is just gone. They're mattified. I'm now not having to work at a slant to avoid that shininess from my lighting for you guys. I love that product. I love that it really takes the shine down but allows the colors to still shine through. So as you can see, I quickly highlighted the verse in yellow there, and then I'm doing this technique again where I'm sort of adding a shadow around the piece that is kind of the focal point of this collage. And that's going to be this woman here, the daughter or the bride of Christ, symbolizing the church, symbolizing myself. I'm also adding some shading around some of the other major pieces on the page, and these are just my oil pastels. They're water soluble, but today I'm just using them dry and blending them in. I decided to go ahead and pick up some of that pink color from the flowers down below and add a little bit of it to the top of the page and a couple strips down at the bottom as well. That's kind of picking up those pink flowers that are in the smaller pieces. And then this is something I got really excited about. I grabbed this navy blue and started to blend that in just right up against her face and around the flowers on her head. And it really, I think, brought a whole new dimension and kind of brought her to life on the page. So I'm not sure what possessed me to go with blue when everything else on the page was kind of these warmer pinks and yellows and oranges, but I just thought I'm going to try it out, and I did it, and I'm really happy with it. And so I ended up going ahead and adding that blue edging to the large yellow flowers on the page, and in a minute here you'll see me add it to a couple other places as well. This was such a fun page for me to create as I was just meditating on how much love God has for us and how we are invited to just continue to fall deeper in love with Him, to devote ourselves deeper and deeper into a relationship with Him. I just think that comparison of going deeper with Him even than members of our family is such an amazing reminder, and the love that He has for us is so much greater than any earthly being could ever love us, including our spouses and our parents and our children. The love He has for us is so much greater, and it was just really inspiring to me to think about that today and think about how I want to strive to walk with a deeper love of Christ in my heart. Now I grabbed a glittery yellow gel pen and added some edging on the yellow flowers around the page. And at the end, you'll see that I wasn't exactly totally happy with it, and so I do end up changing it a little. And then I'm taking my white Faber-Castell giant felt tip pen here, and I'm kind of breaking up some of the space on the page. So anywhere that the lines seemed really harsh between maybe pieces of magazine art and the Bible page or the scrapbook paper, I'm just kind of adding some lines and dots and dashes, and I feel like that just kind of breaks up the space a little and also makes it feel like a more cohesive piece of art, like it all belongs together. I'm writing that phrase, "Oh daughter," on the page because to me it's so endearing that God would want to speak to me in the same way and say, "Oh daughter, just love me." I just love that. I grabbed my Faber-Castell PITT Artist pen. This is the brush tip black pen, and just added some of these little crosses around the page. And then I still wasn't quite done. I felt like that outline on the yellow flowers was getting a little bit lost. And so I did want to go ahead and do something a little bit different. I grabbed my gold felt tipped Faber-Castell PITT Artist pen, and this made me happy. This pen is super, super gold and does a pretty good job of writing on almost anything. And I was really pleased that that showed up quite a bit better and just added some gold to the page. And then I went ahead and added some gold along her neck, almost like necklaces or chokers. And I think that just kind of helped bring a little more light down to that dark bottom corner of the page. And that is about it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Would you jump into the Word of God for yourself today? It is amazing. Try out some collage. This is new to me and maybe new to you, but have fun with it. If you've enjoyed this, here's a couple more videos of mine you might also enjoy. You can click on my face to subscribe to this channel. Would you consider giving this video a thumbs up or leaving a comment below? Find me on Etsy. I create Bible journaling templates to help you get into the Word. I hope I'll see you over in my Facebook group as well. Have a wonderful day.